Hi, hello, and welcome to another vlog. So this will actually be a weekly vlog, if it's not too long. I have a lot of books to read. Some of them, all of these are in a series because we are doing the final book support group. Yeah, the plan is quite long. I have no idea how I am going to finish all of these, and especially, sometimes I wonder, who am I? Let's just go over the books that I am planning on reading. Yeah, let's just talk about the books that I am going to read this week. So we have the first prompt is TBR That. So this is not one of the ones, if you have seen my Instagram, you will have seen kind of my TBR. This one is not on there because I just figured it out today that this was the one that I feel like is one of the oldest ones on my TBR. Is it the oldest one? No, but I have had it for at least like a year or so. And that is A Breath of Snow and Ashes. So this will be my audiobook for this week. Because obviously I sort of need to read this the audiobook way. I love the audiobook way too. So that's definitely the route that I will go. I need to listen to like 2.5 hours every day to finish this, because it's like 60 or so hours long, which is it's a lot. I have gotten up to 228. It's gonna take a while. I will probably be reading this for quite a while. Now I think it might be a little bit less than 2.5 hours, but I feel like if I listen to 2.5 hours, I will at least be able to finish it before Sunday. So this will be my audiobook, and then I have to see. I might do some more reading of this, but I don't really know, just because in the evenings I like to relax and just not do anything. So yeah. And then the second one, self-care. I want to say that most likely I will just play something on my Switch, because that is self-care for me, just relaxing and kind of doing nothing. Then I have 3, that is to take part in a sprint. Well, yeah, it's going to be easy to do that. I don't know how long I will do that for, but we'll participate in the sprint. And then we have 4, anticipated sequel. And I have to say that these don't come in any kind of particular order, but let's say Empire of Storms. This is the 5th book in the Throne of Glass series. So this one is long. This one is 689 pages, so it's long, but yeah, let's just say that this is not the longest one. So this one. Then we have a final book, and for that one we have Kingdom of Ash, which is my final book, which is the final book in the Throne of Glass series. So this one is extremely long. Let's not spoil ourselves. This one is 980 pages. So that's long. Yeah, that can be a little difficult, but I hope I will be able to finish it. It's like I need to read 450 pages every day, not only in these but in all of them. Then we have a number 6 is a graphic novel, manga or novella, and I think I have decided to go with this one, not the whole thing, but The Farmer's War, which is book 3 in this one. So I just figure out that I can easily do that. It's 120 pages. So I am really curious about this, because yeah, it's really interesting to see if this will be any good. And then this will be my second Elise cover book for this month, but that should be fine. And then we basically have share TBR on socials. We have already done that. Then we have number 8, which is Continuation Station. And obviously we will have Tower of Dawn on here because we need to get to this one as well, and it's a continuation before the last one. So this one I will read both of them at the same time, because people have said that that will make the reading experience much more interesting, and I do understand that, because I think in this one we are still going to follow Aelin, but in this one we are following Kale, and he is not at the same place as Aelin. Here we are in the southern continent. I'm not gonna talk spoilers, but if you know, you know. Let's just call it that. So I will read these both at the same time. And then the last one is a poll pick. And let's just... I'm just going to show you the poll. Now, the final one. This is the one that we have. So we have a bike in a hand, which basically is Sleeping Giants. Then we have a two people kissing and a basketball. And then we have an assassin and a crown, which obviously is a Throne of Glass book. And then we have the like death sign and like no death, which is Scythe. And the winner, as you saw, was the basketball, and the basketball is the right move. Now this is a companion series, but I still consider it a series. So in this one we are following Ryan and Indy, and Ryan is basically the sister of the girl in the first book. So I will definitely say that you don't need, I don't think that you need to basically read the first one, but you will get much more out from this one. So that was all the books that I'm going to read this month. Not this month, this week, which is a lot, and I don't know how it will go. 450 pages is a lot, so I will basically just get going. It's like 12:30 and I really want to be done by 6, because then I want to then I want to game some. So yeah, let's just see how I am able to, you know, finish this off. Okay, so the goal was 450 pages. We have read 494 pages, so we are doing good. So we are reading both of these at the same time. So I have made myself this handy dandy chart there to basically be able to do this, read them. I'm so tired, I cannot think simultaneously. So in Empire of Storms I am 233 pages, and in this one we are following Aelin, Menon, Adon, Rowan, Dorian. So it's kind of the same people, and I have to say in this one Menon's chapters weren't that exciting. Now they are a little bit more interesting, just because I feel like they will probably get a little bit more intertwined, and that is something I can't wait to happen. Basically get her together with the gang. So far I have to say nothing like big has happened, let's call it that. I mean, a lot of things is happening, but nothing like major and big has like 100%. We are following another one. We are following Lorcan, and is her name Alid? Alid. We are also following her. So let's just say I halfly know, not know, but I mean I know almost all the endgames. Don't ask me how or why, but I apparently do. So yeah. This is, I have to say, this is so far really interesting, and yeah, I can't wait to continue on with this and see how things is going to go. I mean, if I read the same amount of pages, we'll get like 400, and then this one is almost 700 pages, but I hope to be able to finish this in like 3 days. ish. So that was this. Then we are also in Tower of Dawn, where we are following Kale, Nesrin, and Irene. And I know a lot of people hate this book, but I find it really interesting. Now, I don't 100% care about Nesrin. I mean, yes, she does give something to the story, but yeah, I have to say, Kale and Irene is interesting. I don't feel like I am hating this, but it might be because I am reading it at the same time as this, so I am kind of feeling like I am kind of following, let's just say, one big book, like a, I don't know, 1200 page book. I feel like I am kind of following along with that, where we are just jumping all over the place. This one is 660 pages, so this one is not bad, I have to say. I don't think I would have loved this one if I only were reading this, just because it's not a lot that is happening in this either. So I feel like, at least in the first, and I am 264 pages into this, and I feel like in the first 200 pages of this, I don't feel like a lot has happened. It's not super interesting yet, so I was struggling a little, but I mean, I have to say, it's not as bad as I was expecting. So I mean, this is huge. We still have over 400 pages to go in each book, so I think I don't really know. I think I will still try and finish 450 pages every day. Thursday will probably be a little difficult, but I hope I will be able to do it, just because if I am able to finish 450 pages, I will be always ahead. And yeah, just because I am like 430 pages maybe, but 450 is just like a little bit over, is better than not. So yeah, I mean, these like almost 500 pages I used like 6 hours on. It will be a while, but I'm kind of hoping to finish these 2 books on Wednesday, just because that will make things a lot easier for me once I start Kingdom of Ash, which is almost 1,000 pages long, and then obviously we have 2 more books to read, so it's a lot of reading, and I am really hoping to be able to finish all of them, but if I am, I don't really know. It's just kind of difficult to finish off everything, and I'm really hoping that I will be able to do it. But if I am continuously reading 450 pages, I will be able to do it, just because the amount of pages equals all of these. So, and I mean, one thing that I might do is make this one my Thursday read, just because the font is quite big, and romances takes a lot of shorter time, so I think that's a possibility to do. We'll just have to see. Well, now I'm going to bed, just because I'm tired and I need some sleep. I mean, reading these, it takes a lot of brain power, so I am going to bed to sleep, and then we will start reading again tomorrow with, I mean, the first thing I am going to do. This one doesn't even count in on the 450 pages, so I will probably read another like 200 and so pages next, and yeah, I am, so far this one is okay. I mean, it's long with a lot of texts, and I mean, I have a brief understanding of what is going to happen just because I have watched the TV show. So, and I feel like that is a great way to kind of grasp what is happening in these books. Basically, watch the TV show first, because you will have a much better understanding what is happening. I mean, the books are more detailed, but you will definitely get more from it because it's just a lot of text, and it can be quite difficult to get through all of it. Okay, so we have actually done quite a lot. It's Wednesday, so this is how we are looking at this moment, because as you have seen in the last clip, I basically took part in a sprint. So basically the self-care prompt I have done just because gaming, I am basically trying to get in some Dreamlight Valley gaming every night from like 6 to 8, just so I have all the way to 6 to basically finish my 450 pages. We are currently today at 329, but we should be good. We should be good. So, and then yeah, take part in a sprint, and then share TBRs on social. That is something that I have done. So, I have now finished 2 books, and I just figured out that I didn't fully like care about updating yesterday, just because it would have been kind of the same update as I would have, you know. So let's just talk about them, because it's Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. Now these are for continuation station and anticipated sequel. So I think I am actually going to give both of these 5 stars. Now, I don't think this one would have been a 5-star if I read this one first and then this one. I definitely recommend watching, like looking up the reading order and then read them both at the same time in tandem, because this one ends on such a cliffhanger that I feel like if you are to read this one afterwards, you will get annoyed. So with reading this, I kept myself interested, and basically following these where you are kind of in some action, but it's not a lot of action. I feel like this one is a little slower paced than this one. But you definitely should also read this one because there are some revelations in this. And what I liked reading this in tandem was that you kind of always knew, just because the revelations in here you definitely can see in the other part. So definitely, yeah, this was such a great thing. I loved reading both of these at the same time. It took me 3 days, which is not bad considering it's like 1200 pages. Perfect. And yeah, so both of them 5 stars. Yeah, definitely this wouldn't have been a 5-star if I didn't read it at the same time as this one, because I mean it is really interesting, because if you have read The Assassin's Blade, you already know Irene. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but you will, and then you meet Ansel again, and Rolf. I mean, a lot of the people. Once when I read The Assassin's Blade, basically, if you have seen that vlog, you would have seen me asking or saying, I wonder if we will meet these people again. And so far, during all of these books, like as we are now in Tower of Dawn, the last one, we have met every single person again. And yeah, that's super, super cool. And yeah, now we only have 1 book left in this series, which is nuts. I can't wait to basically get to that one. I don't know how much I am kind of feeling like reading today. I still have like 3 books left. So, I mean, I need 121 pages. So I might pick up the one in the Golden Guard trilogy, because that is 120 pages, and then we will like almost be where we need. So I think that is what I will be doing. So yeah, and then this one I'm just listening to 2.5 hours every day to finish it off. I am 667 pages in. I don't really know how I am. I mean, I'm liking it, but I feel like I was more invested in the like first 4 books, like Outlander, like the Dragonfly book, Voyager, and Dramas of Autumn. I feel like the Fiery Cross was a 4 stars. I don't know if this will be a 4 or a 3 stars, 3 or 4 stars. I don't think it will be higher than that because I don't love it, and I feel like these are so long, and it's just, yeah, I don't really know how I feel. Other than that, I don't think there is anything else. I am going to fill out kind of everything that I need to fill out after finishing off things. So yeah, I cannot believe that I will finish the Throne of Glass series this week. Okay, so it's actually a little later. I was just like, I need kind of want to try and get as close to 450 pages as possible. So I decided to pick up the last book in the Golden Guard trilogy, and that one is The Farmer's War. And we are following Craig and Daniel. And if people have read the Awaken series, you already will know all of these people in this book. So I actually want to say, now all of these are prequels, and they can definitely be read as prequels, and let's just put it that way. So I feel like some prequels are, let's call it, best read afterwards, just because, you know, the Assassin's Blade is, if you want the like connection, you should read it after Air of Fire, because then you have the connection with all of with things that has been going on. But the real reading order, you know, you read that first. In this one, I don't feel like you need to get to know the characters, just because in Air Awaken series you are following like Vala and her in her mind. And this one, you are following different characters, and I feel like if you know these characters, you will probably like them more, and they're not as mysterious as they might be if you don't read this first. Now, I didn't read this first, so some things that were said in the Air Awaken series have been like a little confusing at times, because I didn't know the full story. You got to know the full story like throughout the series, but if you have read this first, you would have already know, you know. I give this 4 stars. I feel like the whole like Air Awakens series, with like all the way from Air Awakens to Crystal Cage, which is like every single book where you are following Vala, and also V. Is it her name V or V? V. Basically all the way through that you get to know at least a lot of these characters in here, and yeah, and I feel like that this whole series is like 4.5, because I don't feel like they are 5 stars, because they're just missing that one small thing, but overall I'm loving it. So I feel like a 5 stars is definitely like I want to continue on. I just can't wait to pick up, and some of the Air Awakens books I have been struggling to actually pick up, and once I read them I liked them. But I mean, you have heard me talk about like Throne of Glass series, I'm wanting to continue on, and sometimes I have not been in the reading mood, but these have put me in the reading mood, and yeah. So we have 2 books, like let's call it 3 books left, but one of them is an audiobook. So this one is an audiobook, so I am going to see how far I am going to get tomorrow. I'll have like a 3-hour car ride to and from work before I get back home, and then I will probably pick up this, which is super long. Let's just see. I am hoping to get halfway through this book tomorrow, so let's just see. 9:18. I need to get to 490 pages tomorrow, so 500 pages tomorrow. Can I do that? I don't know. 59 chapters. So yeah, this is definitely I mean, I don't know if it will be a problem or not, but hopefully I will be able to read a lot tomorrow. And if not, I will just need to read even more. But let's just say, with the amount that I have read, I am on like almost 350 pages, so I am almost like 100 pages over my reading that I needed to do. So yeah, I don't know what to call it, but yeah, it is just overall great. And I will still continue on to read loads, probably. I mean, I read 500 pages one day in the Throne of Glass series, so I don't think it's a problem. Like, honestly, I don't think it's a problem. But I am going to bed now, waking up tomorrow and reading some more in this, which is the one that I am not struggling with most because I am listening to it. I would have never read this on my own. You know, I need to listen to these on audiobooks because I'm not going to read them on my own. I'm really hoping to finish Kingdom of Ash in 2 days, so I can finish The Right Move in 2 days. So yeah, let's see how that will go. It's Friday, and I feel like this week has been going like overall better than expected. I did never expect to actually finish off this book, being almost done with one book and only having like one book left, and then like 200-300 pages another book. So that's sick. So the book that I finished is Kingdom of Ash. I finished this in 2 days. This is almost 1,000 pages long, and I finished it within 2 days. I read almost like half of it. I read 450 pages today, like yesterday, and then over 500 pages today. This is really nuts that I am able to do this, you know. So this is a 5 stars. Obviously, I have been loving every single book. I was kind of afraid to basically get to Throne of Glass because I didn't know how I was going to vibe with it. Just because I am, you know, I have read ACOTAR, loved it. Crescent City, I have only read the first one, loved it. And it's just really crazy how much I have actually been loving this. I've been tabbing them, I've been laughing and just crying. I have been through all the emotions, and I have to say, one reason why I kind of started with reading Throne of Glass in the first place was, you know, I wanted to read it. However, the nudge that kind of got me through it was the fact that there are some people who believe that Sarah J Maas will connect the worlds. I know that something happens in Crescent City 3. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's with ACOTAR. That might be a spoiler. I think it was with ACOTAR. Just because, spoilers, I mean, if you have been on anywhere, you would, I think it's ACOTAR. But then again, we never know if she will connect it with this world as well. And I just want to be prepared that I actually know this world before I go on to ACOTAR and then to Crescent City at last. So yeah, I mean, I have already read A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury. However, I never got to A Court of Wings and Ruin. I read like half and then just stopped, and now I just really want to continue on with this vibe that we are going on with here with Sarah J Maas. I love her writing, and it's, Now, let's just face it, these books are not like 100 like complex. They are, some of the things that happens in here is really convenient, but I don't fully care about things being convenient in a book if it's just if I actually care about things in here. If I care about the characters and actually want everyone to be happy, then I don't mind convenient. At least in this more YA, maybe call it more new adult because of the ages in here. More in that. I don't mind being like fully convenient. I mean, I read romances that are really convenient at times, so yeah. But yeah, loving it. I have read the whole Throne of Glass series in this month, or within 3 weeks. I have read all of them. That I don't really know how many pages that was, but it was a lot. It was 3,000 or 4,000 pages for that whole series, and I have now done it, like physically reading. Could I have read, like listened to them? Yes, but I was tabbing them. I don't really know, just because this is the last book in that series, so I can't 100% talk about it. But I have been loving every single book, and yeah, I have to say, I'm really happy with kind of how all the main characters were happy, even though, I mean, Sarah J. Maas is really good at changing up partners. You are like, so I loved a lot of the couplings, or I loved all the ones that were coupled together. It's, yeah, I didn't mind who anyone ended up with. So this one, I am now 1190 pages in, so I probably have like a day or so left. I don't know how I am loving this, to be completely honest. I feel like it's just really long, and yeah, I think that is the reason why I am kind of loving the TV show more, just because it's shortened down, because there are so much happening in here, and it's just a lot of texts, and I'm not loving it. At this current time, I think it sits at 3.5 stars, just because I'm not fully loving it. The plan for the next 2 days, if I can, you know, if I don't finish it tomorrow, then at least on Sunday, is the right move. So, I mean, this one is 496 pages, so it shouldn't take me too long. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, it looks really short for being 500 pages. But that is tomorrow's task, just because I read 500 pages and my brain is kind of dead as of this moment, because, you know, just as you are reading so much, I'm just feeling all my brain power. That's kind of what I have to say. But we will now be able to color in the middle square, which is the final book. So that's gonna be great. We only have 2 rounds left, and I'm hoping to finish this tomorrow, and then this one at least on Sunday. So I have like 3 hours left of the audiobook, so it shouldn't be a problem, especially now that I'm done with Kingdom of Ash, which was the longest book on this TBR. So I have just finished A Breath of Snow and Ashes, which is the 6th book in the Outlander series. So I've been going about this series for, at this point, years. I started I don't remember when I read like the first Outlander book. So why don't we take a look at probably when I bought this book as well, because I bought like a set with a lot of the books. So the first Outlander book I read in 2021, meaning that I have had this book for since 2021, which is not like the oldest book that I have on my TBR, because I have some that are older, but this is one of the ones that I have had the longest. And yeah, so I mean, my goal has been to finish off all the books that I have on my TBR and basically have my TBR down to 0, which is difficult because I am buying books and then I'm going to read that month and then I don't read them. But I'm trying to get better at it, and yeah. So I'm gonna give this 3.5 stars. Now, the Outlander series, we are far away from Outlander, which is the first book. So the first one, we are following Claire, and she's on her second honeymoon with her husband Frank in like 1945 or something. And basically, she is then, yeah, on her second honeymoon in Scotland, and then she basically witnessed this thing like with a circle of stones, and then she goes back there and she's transferred back to like the 1700s, and it's a lot going on. She meets Jamie Fraser, and she's basically forced to marry him because she is an English woman, and basically the Englishman and the Scottish man are at war with each other in the first book. So we are far away from that. At this one we are at 1772, so it's been quite a lot of years, but yeah, I am 3.5. They are slow, but they are not slow, but I feel like also it's a lot of things that you need to follow along with. There are a lot of different things that happens in here, and it's just a lot to kind of handle. But then again, I don't feel like a lot of things is happening in here. It's just so much text, and I mean, it's better that they are this thick rather than being like 300 books long, but this is 1400 pages, almost 1500, and that's just, it's a lot. And yeah, I mean, of course I am going to continue on. I will probably continue on, and hopefully book 10 is the last book, so I can just read till then, and then we will be kind of done with it. I mean, it will be kind of sad to say goodbye to Claire and Jamie Fraser, but it's good. I like it. It's not a favorite series. I know a lot of people love this series. For me, a lot, and that is the reason why I haven't picked this up. I had this on my TBR somewhere like last year, but I didn't read it. And I mean, I know a lot of people will be like reading the next one already, but I don't feel the need to read the next one right now. So that means that we only have one book left on my TBR, and that is The Right Move. So I will get a good dent into this today. I have a few things that I need to get done, so I am hoping to get to at least half of this book today and then half tomorrow. Yeah, the plan for today and tomorrow. I will probably not update until I have finished this, just because it's easier that way, and so this vlog doesn't get too long. So let's talk about the last book that I finished and then end the vlog. So it's Monday. Should have ended this last night, but let's just say it got late and I didn't feel like updating at the time. But I finished The Right Move, and when I tell you, I love this even more than Mile High. I loved Mile High, but this one is tabbed. I feel like I tabbed something almost like every single page. So this one, if I reread it, might become like a new, like The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, where I tab and tab and tab and tab. Now, I still feel like The Wall of Winnipeg and Me is my favorite. But this one, I will definitely say that it creeps up, you know, on my top tier romances. So in this one, this is the second book in the Windy City series, and we are following Ryan and Indy. So both of these people you meet in the first book. Ryan is Stevie's sister, and Indy is basically Stevie's best friend and then ex-co-worker. And Indy, you basically get to know something about Indy in the first book, and that means that she now is looking for a place to live. So Stevie asks if she can move in with Ryan, and we all know instantly how this is going to go. However, they are both carrying really like big packages, and that is something that they need to work on, and it's definitely something that they need to work on like within themselves. And yeah, and then this might be a little spoilery, so but yeah, basically Indy is dealing with some infertility issues. Like, not that she can't have children, however, she's 27, but her eggs are like almost at the end of their lives, so she basically needs to freeze her eggs if she ever wants to have children, and that is something that is definitely weighing on her. And yeah, and basically one thing I am going to say about this before I end the vlog is I loved the ending, just because I feel like a lot of books they're dealing with infertility issues, but and saying that I don't think I ever can have children on my own, and then they like magically happens. It doesn't happen in this. It doesn't magically happen, and that is something I love. And yeah, I love this entire thing. 5 stars, loved it. So I finished 5 books, 6 books. I finished 6 books, and that is nuts and crazy, but it's really good that I have, because now it has been amazing. So yeah, that was my final book support group vlog. I hope you liked it, and it had made me read a lot of sequels, which is great. Finished a series, finished 2 series actually, which is amazing. But yeah, hope you liked this video, and I will see you next time for another one. Bye!